These verses right here are probably some of the hardest verses for us to kind of understand. And the biggest reason is because it says that we greatly rejoice. Even though, for the moment, we're going through manifold temptations, knowing that the trying of our faith is more precious than gold, which is temporary and perishes. And it's easy to say that sort of stuff, but you know what? It's really hard when we stop and think about it. I mean, how many of us would view the temptations and the troubles that we go through as more precious than gold? If we had a choice between a pound of gold or a bunch of troubles, how many of us would choose the gold? But one of the things that we have to remember is that there's a lot of things that come from the trouble that we go through. We don't always see it, but it comes. And the biggest thing that comes is drawing closer to God. You know, even Jesus had to go through troubles, right? I mean, it says that he learned obedience through suffering. I mean, Jesus himself. And in other places in the Bible, it talks about how when we go through trouble, we learn to have compassion upon those who are going through troubles as well. It's easy for us to say, you know, that we understand what somebody's going through. But when we've gone through it ourselves, that's a whole other story. Now we do know what they're going through. And our hearts can cry out for them and help them and weep with them that weep and rejoice with them that rejoice. There's a lot more that comes and that helps us when we go through troubles. And a big thing to remember is not just these verses here, but the verses in context. Because the verse right before, in verse 5, he goes ahead and he actually says that he's going to he's going to hold us up, basically. While we go through these troubles, God will hold us up. And even though we temporarily go through the trouble, I mean, Paul went ahead and said these temporary troubles that we go through works in us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. I mean, it's hard for us to think about, but this is where trusting and drawing closer to God is. God sees the eternal, and he sees that these fiery trials and temptations make us shine like gold. God bless you. See you later.